So I'm thumbing through my Creature Commandos trade paperback, written by Jam the Manatees. Jam the Manatees.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God! Well, you might know that fat blubbery guy that lives at the bottom of the ocean from Trick or Treat Radio favorite Justice League International. This is basically the Universal monsters fighting Nazis. What's better than that? There are lots of great horror comics out there if you look, and I'm going to tell you about two. It's the most fun of times and the fucking most violent of times. How's that for a literary reference? I'll see you bitches on the other side.
Listen to them, children of the night. What music they make.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. Jack left town.
Okay, yo, flip you. Do what? Flip you. Flip you for real. Y'all think us folks from the country's real funny like, don't you? Jerry, I want from you, Ma. I'm Mr. Britt. I've got to give me some education, Jerry. You ass.
Death is a bitch.
What's up, y'all? This is Dynamo Mars. I am in a 1988 Dodge Delta 88, driving back from beautiful Tokyo, Texas, on my way back to Necronomicon. I took a Learjet out there this morning. We recorded the Trick or Treat Radio very special Halloween special. I was too inebriated to drive back to Tokyo, Texas, and well, actually, I just said to bring me home, and my limo driver Jojo brought me all the way to Tokyo, Texas. I don't know how he got there so fast, but now I have rented a car. I have rented a robot driver, and he is taking me back to Necronomicon, Massachusetts, where I will not only be on Trick or Treat Radio, I will make a bunch of other podcast appearances, and I will appear November 1st at the Lucky Dog Music Hall with Gamble and Burke, Agents of Chaos, and Transdusk, and a room full of the sexiest motherfuckers you've ever seen at the 18th annual Halloween extravaganza. There's some drama going on, not my drama to tell, but I can say if you do not see us at the Lucky Dog this time, there's a very distinct possibility you have seen us for the last time at the Lucky Dog, or never seen us at the Lucky Dog, because all good things come to an end, my friends. But you know what doesn't come to an end? The plethora of great horror comics that are published every single year and people don't know. With in a world that has 2 Aquaman titles, it's hard to imagine that you have any time to read anything except capes and cowls. But in reality, there's a lot of good stuff out there of all genres. But it's Halloween time, so we're talking about horror. Let's ease into a little family-friendly before I put it in the bum hole of your ear, shall we? Howard Lovecraft in The Kingdom of Madness is the second story by writer Bruce Brown and artist Thomas Boatwright. You might remember him from the Halloween Legion, the Great Goblin Invasion, which I talked about earlier. Bruce Brown, loosely we can say, created Howard Lovecraft, because we know it's based on H.P. Lovecraft. And this is the story of Howard and his large Cthulhu monster going on adventures. And in this particular story, they travel to the Antarctic, where they meet Herbert West. And I don't want to tell you too much about the plot of this comic, because it's really fun and it's really clever. But Bruce Brown is a star, I think, and this is a very family-friendly book that's taken from probably the most not family-friendly source material. If you think of the Lovecraft story, Herbert West Reanimator, and you think of the story Reanimator in Lovecraft in general, most kids would piss their pantaloons. So the fact that they've made this great, almost Pixar-like adventure, it reminds me of, I spoke about this on my top Halloween list, but it reminds me very much of things like Monster House or Paranorman. This is terrific stuff. I'm going to leave any synopsis and stuff on the table, but pick up any of the Howard Lovecraft stuff. In the Kingdom of Madness is particularly awesome. It's put out by Arcania Press. You can go to www.arcaniapress.com. Now, what if I told you that there was a comic out there that was written by some of the top names in alternative press, but started by one of the biggest superstars of comics? Garth Ennis created a comic called The Crossed. It's basically a zombie story, 28 Days latest story. People get, one day, a huge popular portion of the people it looks like a cross has been branded on their face. It's Judgment Day, right? Well, they turns them into crazy, rapey, cannibalistic maniacs. And they run amok and don't give a fuck. I've really adopted Michael Ravenshadow's most clever line, which is good because he's stolen about 90% of my shtick over the years. But it's okay now that just means I don't get to pretend to be an idiot anymore. So, yeah, I am in love with The Crossed, but I have to tell you that when you get out of the Garth Ennis series, it is some dark shit. It is dark shit brought to you by guys like Jamie D'Angelo, who had the first significant run of Constantine in its post-Vertigo days. Guys like Christos Gage, who parents live down the street from me, actually. I'm hoping to hang out there and beg him for a job of some sort. Maybe rubbing his feet or something. And how about Dave Lampin, who gave us the incredible Stray Bullets crime comic, one of the best crime comics out there. David Hine, who you might know from a whole bunch of British stuff, Death's Head. He did The Spider with Mark Millar, a bunch of Judge Dredd, X-Men Unlimited 2. He did a big run of Spawn, 150 to 184. He did Joker's Asylum, Two-Face. He's done a ton of shit. Yeah, I'm reading his Wikipedia because I had no idea David Hine was so fucking prolific. I just knew he wrote a badass cross story. So basically, don't get attached to anyone in Cross because they're all dead by the time a new creator comes in. These things eat, fuck, and then fuck what they eat, and eat what they fuck, and it's crazy. It is the most gory comic that I've ever read, the darkest, most disturbing comic. This is a comic book from Monster Zero. Even though Monster Zero can't read, this would be the comic that he would like because it's full of boobies and gore. So check out The Crossed. It's an excellent comic. Check out Howard Lovecraft and the Kingdom of Madness. Check out the Creature Commandos. Go to a different section of your comic store and don't get a superhero comic. Just check something out. Get a great Western. Get a great anything. Get a great romance comic. Get the great comic that I wrote, Dynamo Loves Donna. Get the great comic that Tiny wrote, Tiny Loves Dynamo. All these things you can find at your local comic retailer. My name is Dynamo Mars. This is episode 438 of the Halloween Countdown the Halloween. Monkeys fly out of my pants. I will see you tomorrow. Tricks my treats.